Something that I'm very excited about and I'm very involved with is developing the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. So I mentioned earlier developing a circular economy, one that doesn't waste but utilizes the blue economy, the ocean-based economy. That really is the sustainable development of the ocean. So we're talking about the same thing here domestically in the United States as we are throughout all of the nations of the United Nations. So what we have proposed to do for a UN Decade of Ocean Science is to focus on at least these areas that appear before you. I've shown you how we don't really have a good map of the undersea. We need to build one. We need better ocean observations in all the major ocean basins. These would involve physical, chemical, and biological measurements, which means we need physicists, engineers, biologists, chemists. We need to be conducting an inventory of the ecosystem with far greater measurement than we can do today. We're using studies like genetics and omics in order to make those determinations. By the time you high school seniors graduate from college, this will be a regularly practiced routine measurement that will replace the way that we're measuring the biological components of the ocean today, from bacteria to whales, and even including the bacteria that's in the stomach of the whale. We can measure it all by sampling the ocean. We need better data delivery and information portals. We're going to build a global portal for oceanographic information, establishing a multi-hazard warning system. We now have tropical cyclone or hurricane warnings. We need to improve the skill in those warnings, but we also need to make sure that countries that don't have the same level of economic gain as we do have access to these very same things. And then, of course, we want to have better models of the Earth and the atmosphere, basically integrated ocean and atmospheric models. And then we also need capacity development, so countries that don't have the capability to deliver these warnings to their people or this information to their people can be provided to them. This decade will belong to you. We're creating it now. I'm part of a small team of 20 people around the globe that are planning this UN decade. And we have an implementation plan that's being reviewed by the UN now. You're going to inherit this, and I hope some of you are taking my job and will be in a position in order to do this. Next slide, please. We're going to go a layer deeper just very quickly to show you the 6 major themes that we hope to achieve. We all want a clean ocean. We all want a healthy ocean that is resilient to the insults, whether it's an oil spill or whether it's a severe storm. In terms of a predicted ocean, this means that we humans have the ability to predict the facets of the ocean as it develops over time. Next slide, please. We're not going to make the ocean safe. It's always going to be a somewhat challenging place. You might even consider part of it a dangerous place, but we want the people to be safe in their interactions with the ocean. And we also, of course, want sustainable production from the ocean so we can feed people. And transparent and accessible means that those economies, those people, those folks that come from countries that don't have an economy like ours have the access to the information that they need in order to manage their communities and their people well. Next slide. So as we look for the future here, we have a number of activities that are targeting the young people, you folks. And our effort in youth is sustained by the National Ocean Sciences Bowl. So once again, congratulations to the organizers, the Consortium for Ocean Leadership, and the people who have been at this for so long and helping to support this. We have a number of activities for youth, and I would encourage you to get involved with them. Now, we unfortunately had to postpone, not cancel, but postpone the National Marine Educators Association meeting. But each of these other meetings we're very hopeful will continue. And I promise you, there is a youth group in the UN Decade of Ocean Science. We're labeling it the Early Career Professionals Group, but there's room for everyone, and I encourage you to get involved with this. And now on this next slide, please. You're going to come to find shortly, in the course of your activity during this session of the Ocean Sciences Bowl, a challenge that relates to the UN Decade of Ocean Science and invites your imagination in to contribute ideas to the success of this endeavor, which is the Draw Your Decade activity. You'll get more details on this. I would love to participate in this. This looks like a whole lot of fun. It'll be Friday on April 24th, and I hope you're looking forward to that.